Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Mckayla, and today's video is going to be about my baby blues / postpartum depression experience. And I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about it and how I dealt with it and coped with it and got through it. I know a lot of moms go through this and struggle with talking about it, so I just felt like it was an important video to make, and I really wanted to make it and maybe help somebody out if I can. I know whenever I had these things, it was not easy, and I just wish I had somebody to talk to, and I wish I wasn't so scared to go to the doctor about it and talk to them about it, but I was, because I was scared that maybe they would think I wasn't a fit mother. So I kind of kept it to myself, and then whenever I did talk to a doctor about it, they kind of brushed it off and told me that it would pass. But in the moment, it doesn't seem like it will. So I just wanted to bring attention to it and, you know, talk a little bit about it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my pregnancy blues whenever I found out I was pregnant with my second baby. I'm only 18 years old, so just finding out you're pregnant with your second baby is hard in general, especially whenever you weren't planning it, and you know, you're obviously scared and you're not ready, or at least I was scared and not ready. And whenever I found out, I just felt like my life was going to end. Like, you know, I already have one and I do nothing, and now I'm having another, and it's just going to be, you know, the cycle is going to start all over again, and I'm never going to get anything done. Like, I'm going to be broke. Like, I'm never going to sleep. I'm never going to have time to myself. Like, whenever I found out I was pregnant, I was just starting to get back out with friends and just starting to, you know, open up more to people and go out more, and it was just really hard to find out I was pregnant again, because I realized I can't do that kind of stuff anymore. And I knew I was going to be tired and sick, like nauseous from morning sickness, and it was like a really hard blow. My pregnancy blues started kind of early whenever I found out I was pregnant with my second baby. I was high risk, and I had a hematoma. I was scared, and I was scared I was going to lose my baby. I was scared, like, I didn't know what to do if I did lose my baby. It was already hard finding out I was pregnant, and I just got super depressed, and I felt like nobody really cared about how I was feeling, and that I was trapped, and just stuff like that. And because of that, I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend, moving out and living with my grandparents again, and not putting my all into my son. So I was just kind of laying around all day, always upset. I found another boyfriend, but because I did that, I did it whenever I wasn't mentally myself, and I made a mistake by doing that, because I ended up hurting Caelan and this other person and myself in the long run. And now looking back on it, I feel so bad for doing that, but it was just like my mind was going crazy, and I was just not in a good place. My pregnancy blues ended whenever I thought I was having a miscarriage. I went to the ER. I believe I was like 10 weeks. I ran to the ER because I was spotting and I was scared, and I remember getting an ultrasound done at the ER to determine if that was what was happening, and I saw the baby move, and the baby looked more like a baby, and you know, the hemorrhage was shrinking, and it was just all good signs. And as soon as I heard the heartbeat on the monitor, I started crying, and that's whenever my depression ended, because I realized a baby's a blessing, and I'm going to love this baby just like I loved Timothy, just like I do love Timothy, and he's my world. And I just said to myself, like, this is just another human being that's going to be in my life, that's going to be in my entire world, and it's going to be hard, but I'm going to get through it. So I just need to be strong for this baby. I need to not stress. I need to be myself, and I need to, you know, kind of snap out of this funk that I'm in And that's whenever my depression stopped, was whenever I heard the heartbeat for the first time on an ultrasound. Now I'm going to talk about my postpartum depression after I had my son. My postpartum depression with my son started once I started going to school. It started because I was away from him all day and I felt like a bad mother. I knew that I was going to school for him, but at the time I didn't want to be away from him. I just stopped breastfeeding, so I didn't have that connection with him anymore. My grandparents were keeping him in their bed through the night. I was living with my grandparents, but they were keeping him, and they were keeping my son in their room almost every single night because I had to get up super early for school in the morning and they wanted to make sure I got my rest. I just felt like I was a really bad mom and I was doing the wrong thing. So I got really depressed and I ended up switching to online schooling. And when I did that, my depression kind of subsided. I still had it, but it mostly hit at nighttime because I knew that I wasn't going to get sleep. And, people need sleep and you get upset whenever you can't get your sleep. So that's whenever mine hit, was at night and during the morning, early morning, whenever my son would wake up. I would just get super, it wasn't a good time for me. Around this point, I wasn't being a very good mom either, because my postpartum depression, and this is whenever I talked to my doctor, and my doctor told me that it'll go away and to just kind of move on, kind of go throughout the day. If it continues, if my postpartum depression gets worse, to come back, and he would prescribe me something. I just feel like maybe I just needed to talk to somebody. I don't really know because I never got full disclosure, but I do know that I wish I had somebody to talk to, and I wish I didn't wait so long to talk to a doctor, even though, the doctor didn't really do anything. I just wish that I would have said something sooner, because then maybe he would have. But I just know that it doesn't feel like it's going to go away. So whenever he said that, it kind of was just like a slap in the face. I kind of want to describe to you guys what postpartum depression felt like to me. It might not be the same for you, but this is how it was for me. I felt like my life was over. I felt like I had no friends. I felt like Caelan wasn't there for me. I felt like I wasn't a good mom. I felt like I was failing Timothy, especially whenever I stopped breastfeeding for school. That really took a lot out of me. I felt like the worst mom in the world, and I was like, we don't even have that connection anymore. Like, he's not gonna love me as much. Because I was so tired, I didn't get out of bed whenever I needed to. I would pass my son off to my grandparents, and I would sleep, and I would sleep all the time. And of course, whenever I woke up, I would realize how long I'd been sleeping, and then I'd feel like an even worse mom. I asked for way too much help, and that made me feel horrible. I was sad all the time. I felt alone all the time. Even if Caelan was living with me, I felt completely alone. Even if my grandparents were helping me and I was taking advantage of their help, I felt alone. And even if I was holding my son, I felt alone. And I had pain from giving birth, and I wasn't getting answers from that, which made me really, down. And I knew that I couldn't do the things that I used to be able to do, and here I am with a baby now, and I still can't go out and do anything. I still can't hang out with friends. I still, my friends are in school. I'm home all day. We're on completely different levels, and it's just like, I just felt completely alone. My postpartum depression went away whenever I started talking to a counselor, whenever I started talking to family, and whenever I started talking to Caelan about how I was feeling. and everybody finally realized like what was going on in my head, and I think then everybody kind of understood why I was acting the way I was acting. And whenever I got the help from family, like emotionally, that I needed, that's whenever it kind of went away. Also, as Timmy got older, it went away because I was, you know, sleeping more. I was able to do more things. So whenever my life started to, you know, open up to more possibilities, so did I. And that's what made my depression go away, was just kind of, you know, as Timmy grew, I grew as a person. And I realized that Timothy is like the only thing that matters to me in the world. Like, I would do anything for him, and I need to, you know, be a better mom for him, and I need to, you know, so what if I don't sleep? At least I'm here with my son, type of thing. Whenever you have postpartum depression and pregnancy blues, you just have to try and stay positive and not dwell on it so much. If you can't do that, then definitely talk to somebody, talk to a doctor. It's completely normal. They're not going to think that you're, you know, that you're not capable of being a mother, and, you know, they can help you, whether that's prescription or not. I don't know. I never really got answers myself from a doctor, but, you know, maybe you will. So I would definitely suggest talking to somebody, family, your spouse, a counselor, a doctor, just somebody. Talk to whoever you can. So I hope that I got everything that I wanted to say out in this video, because there was a lot I wanted to say and a lot I wanted you guys to know. But just know that if you're a mom and you're struggling with it, you're not alone. A lot of people do struggle with it, and it's completely normal, and it's something that we shouldn't have to push under the rug and not talk about. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in my next video.